Okay, fourth one of these Digimon alternate Digi-Armor Digivolution videos that I'm doing. So, this one will be about Patamon, who's of course TK's Digimon. So these would be like if TK got his hands on the other Digi Eggs that have the other armored Digi Eggs that the others in his group have. Patamon, of course, you know, cute, little, adorable. I do like Patamon throughout the course of the series. Wouldn't say he's my favorite out of all the partner Digimon, but I do really like Patamon. Again, if I ended up with any of the partner Digimon and Digimon, I'd probably be happy because it's just like, it's a Digimon. I'm not going to complain. You know, for the most part, that would be my answer. I'm just like, it's a digital pet that is connected to me. I will hold on to forever. You know, as long as I can, I will hold on to this thing. The first one that we have is, of course, Patamon with the Digi Egg of Courage, which would turn him into Baromon, so kind of like a Baron or a Shaman-looking type Digimon. There's a couple of different, like, Shaman-looking Digimon. Baromon, I'm trying to remember if there's any of these that have a specific, or that this one pops up in the series. It's not in Digimon Adventures at all. I want to say it maybe pops up in Digimon Frontier at some point in time, but I don't remember exactly if that's the case. It's been a little while since I've watched Digimon Frontier, but I think it may pop up there. But I don't remember if he's like an enemy or an ally, or like goes from being an enemy to being an ally. I don't remember. But he's there. Don't really know what else to say for that. Then we have the Friendship one. Now, Friendship would make sense for like TK to get his hands on because, well, first of all, his older brother Matt has the crest of Friendship. But, you know, just like if him and Davis like traded D terminals, and he would have, of course, Courage and Friendship. And then Davis would have Hope. But for Friendship, we go from little tiny adorable Patamon one into Stegomon. Patamon turned into a dinosaur. Again, with Digimon, I don't know where the logic jump comes from, but okay. I mean, like with Pokemon, you kind of see like a progression to a degree and like what stuff turns into. It's like, yeah, I can kind of see where that comes from. With this one, cute, little, adorable, kind of based off of a pig. Dinosaur. Where did this logic come from? But okay. Sure. Stegomon turns into a giant Stegosaurus. I think a Stegomon appears in the 5th season, Digimon Data Squad or Digimon Savers, depending on which one you want to call it. I think that one appears there at some point, but I don't remember exactly because it's been a long time since I've watched that series, and I've only watched it once. But yeah, I don't remember exactly, but I think that one pops up also. It's a dinosaur, so dinosaurs are awesome. Yeah. Then we have the Digi Egg of Love. If TK got his hands on that one, it would turn Patamon into Pippismon. Bat with like sickle feet is basically what Pippismon looks like. It's not too bad. The way that they have it drawn in the picture here isn't as adorable as it can be at times. These ones I know pop up in Digimon Frontier at some point. They're like in this like giant forest that the Digi-Destins have to wander through, and they're stated that they can mimic people's voices. So they have like their sonar, so they're kind of based on bats, but they can also like mimic people's voices and, you know, noises and other things like that to try to like trick you, you know, whatever. And it's just like, you know, instinct that the Digimon has to, you know, like protect itself. So it's, you know, you can't really blame it. It's doing its instincts. I do like how the different seasons of Digimon kind of look at like Digimon having like different instincts and different things like that based on other things that are going on around them. And I guess whatever kind of like condition the digital world is in at the time. Or just like where they are in the digital world or so. And of course, it's also that the Digimon have free will, so they can always like choose to be bad or choose to be good or choose to be neutral in some cases. So moving on from Pippismon, we have the Digi Egg of Sincerity, which, okay, there is a logic thing that actually makes sense here, somewhat, because it turns Patamon into Ponchomon, who is a cactus with a sombrero and boxing gloves and a poncho. Now and a weird tongue. And I say that there's a logic here that actually slightly makes sense because, of course, sincerity comes from Mimi. And I got the sincerity shirt back here. Sincerity comes from Mimi. And, of course, Palmon turns into a cactus, into Togemon initially as her first Digivolution. So, okay, I can see this slight logic here for where that came from. But that still doesn't mean that it makes 100% of sense as to why it has a hat and a poncho. The boxing gloves kind of make sense because, Togemon has boxing gloves. But it's just like, okay, this is just weird. Again, I don't know what they were on when they designed some of the different Digimon designs in regards to, like, this turns into that. But that's what they did. It's a cactus with a hat. This is another weird one that we got here in regards to knowledge. If Patamon had the Digi Egg of Knowledge to Digivolve with, turns into insect here again. Turns into Mothmon. It's a moth with a minigun. Yeah, that is exactly what it is. It's a moth with a minigun. I don't know. I didn't decide it. It would still be fun to have. I don't know how big the dang thing is. I don't know if it's like, because, Digimon, it's like a Mega Digimon can be like this big, can be like this big, and then like a champion Digimon can be like freaking huge. I don't know, like, how big this thing is. I don't know if it's like, I don't know, the size of a house and you can ride on it. I don't know if it's like big enough for just someone to ride on, or if it's like it can like carry you, or what. But it's a moth with a minigun. I'm like, Digimon people, okay, so it's a moth. Can we do anything else with it? We want to give it a blade? No. How about a laser? No. Minigun. Put the minigun on the moth. I don't know. And then we have, and then we move on to the Digi Egg of Reliability with Patamon, which, we get, Manta Raymon. Which is obviously based off of a manta ray creature. I like manta rays in the ocean. I think they're beautiful, majestic creatures. They're distant. They're like within the same kind of family as like stingrays and sharks and everything. Again, probably not something that you can. It's probably big enough for like the Digidestined to like hold on to and like ride on the back of, or like I guess maybe surf on the back of if you want to go the Digimon Sun and Moon route of like Mantine surfing if you want to go that route. I was never very good at that section of the game. But like you got Mana Raymon. I still like the design. It's a nice design. Don't really know what else to say about it. Can't really ride in the thing, so being underwater, you'd still have to have like, I don't know, the oxygen tank and like the mask and everything, unlike with Samarimon. But not bad. Then we have the Digi Egg of Hope in regards to or excuse me, how did these get mixed up? Okay, these got flipped around somehow. So those got mixed up a little bit when I was doing that design. So Digi Egg of Hope, of course, for Patamon, turns him into, of course, Pegasusmon. This is one of the ones that we're well familiar with in the series. Pegasusmon flies around. He can ride on the back of it. It's a horse, and it's awesome. Love Pegasusmon throughout the series. It's like, it's a horse. I want the horse. But no, I had my images flipped up for what I was looking at. No, I was looking at the Digi Egg of Light version of what Patamon would look like. And, you'd kind of think that it's like, okay, so Patamon and Gatomon, like, their Digi, in the course of the games and such, like, their Digi, their Digivolution lines can kind of be, like, intertwined to a degree. And, Pegasusmon, and, like, you get Nefertimon when Gatomon uses the Digi Egg of Light. So you kind of think that maybe Patamon would turn into something kind of like, maybe not cat-like, but also like still kind of angelic-like in regards to using the Digi Egg of Light. You'd kind of think that a little bit. No, you'd be wrong. Patamon using the Digi Egg of Light turns into Monbomon. It's a flounder with boxing gloves. Again, I don't know where the logic comes from. This thing looks it would make more sense to be like the reliability one. But I guess not. I don't know. I didn't design the dang things. But it's just like, it's a fish with boxing gloves. Okay. Sure, I've seen weirder Digimon that make less sense. Then we get into one that I really, really like for Patamon. So in regards to Patamon, when he uses the Digi Egg of Kindness, so if he had Ken's Digi Egg, he would turn into, and this thing is adorable and I love it, he would turn into Prairiemon. Just kind of a rabbit with claws, which already makes me happy. Obviously, Prairiemon isn't like it's a prairie rabbit or like a groundhog or something along those lines, or a prairie dog, excuse me. But yeah, it's adorable. It's so cute. I just think it's so cute. I do have a prairie dog story that I can throw in here. In Omaha, we have the Henry Dorley Zoo, and one of the sections in the zoo is like this picnic area, but we also have like a little colony of like prairie dogs that live like right next to the picnic area within the zoo. Now the zoo itself is quite large. I don't know the exact specs for how large it is, but it's very large and it's kind of in the middle of the city. So it's like, okay, there's a zoo in the middle of the city. Okay. But there's like a prairie dog colony that's kind of there, and it's been there ever since I was a kid. It's been there long before I was a kid. The story is basically, my mom and I were at the zoo with my now ex, and my ex decided that it would be a good idea to try to pet one of the prairie dogs. Now, there are signs up that say, do not feed the prairie dogs, do not try to pet the prairie dogs. There's reasons he's an ex now. He tries to pet the prairie dog, and it bit him, and I just found that funny. I still find that funny. So yeah. Yeah, Prairiemon. I think Prairiemon is adorable. And then finally we have the Digi Egg of Miracles in regards to if Patamon used the Digi Egg of Miracles to Digivolve. And in this one, we do get kind of like the golden theme that kind of goes along with some of the Digi Egg of Miracle ones. And it turns Patamon into a gold-plated rhino called Rhinomon. I mean, it's a gold-plated rhino. What can I say? I like rhinos. They're awesome. They can gore you if you make them angry and stampede you and kill you. And unfortunately, they're also endangered a lot of the times. We also have rhinos at the zoo. I just look at, I mean, like, it's a cool looking thing. I mean, like, yeah, that thing, yeah, I mean, like, the thing with the Digi Eggs is that they're, with the Digi Armors, is that they already get pretty powerful. And then, like, Miracle and Destiny, those two Digi Eggs makes them, like, even more powerful on top of that, just because they're the golden Digi Eggs. And there is no Digi Egg of Destiny here for Patamon. But I just like the design that it has. It's a gold-plated rhino. How is that not awesome? So that's what we have in regards to Patamons. The next one will be Gotamon and then Wormmon. And then that'll finish up that series. And I'm just like popping these in as I go, just kind of depending on if it's like I don't have an idea for a video for this day, so I'll just pop one of these in. So I thank you very much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed the video, and I hope that you have a nice rest of your day. And, you know, which one of these was your favorite? So, bye.